The Harrington mansion sat like a gleaming white fortress on the most exclusive strip of Point Piper, overlooking Sydney Harbour with views that'd make your average punter weep. Floor-to-ceiling glass walls, a rooftop infinity pool that seemed to spill straight into the water below, and a private jetty where their 50-metre superyacht bobbed gently on the tide. Richard Harrington, everyone called him Richo behind his back, never to his face, had built his billions in iron ore and lithium, the kind of ruthless mining empire that made headlines for both obscene profits and the occasional environmental outrage. His wife Victoria, old money from a grazing dynasty out west, kept the social side polished. Charity galas, front row at Fashion Week, the perfect smile for the society pages. But for 5 long years, none of that glitter had mattered a damn. Their youngest daughter, Mia, had vanished from the garden on a sunny Saturday afternoon in 2020. She'd been 4 years old, all blonde curls and dimples, chasing bubbles near the hibiscus hedge while the nanny scrolled her phone. 1 minute she was there, giggling, the next, nothing. No ransom note, no sightings, no body. Just gone. The media went absolutely feral. Front pages screamed, "Millionaire's toddler vanishes, family under suspicion." Tabloids dug up every skeleton. Richo's alleged affairs, Victoria's Valium habit, the older kids' wild uni days. Current affairs shows ran nightly segments. Did the Harringtons' neglect cost little Mia her life, complete with grainy security footage and slow-motion replays of the empty garden gate? Talkback radio lit up with callers claiming the parents knew more than they were letting on, that money had bought silence from the cops. Conspiracy nuts online insisted Mia had been sold to some overseas adoption ring or worse. The family became Australia's favourite punching bag, a real-life soap opera of privilege and tragedy. Inside the house, the fallout was brutal. Richo threw himself into work, flying to mine sites at dawn and drinking scotch until midnight. Victoria drifted through the rooms like a ghost, clutching Mia's favorite stuffed koala that still smelled faintly of baby shampoo. Their eldest, James, 28 and already a coke-snorting playboy with a trust fund bigger than most suburbs, turned vicious. He'd scream at his parents over dinner, "If you two hadn't been too busy swanning off to your bloody fundraisers, maybe someone would have been watching her." Eliza, 25, icy and ambitious, studying law at Sydney Uni, took the opposite tack, cold silence, eyes like daggers whenever the subject came up. She'd mutter things like, "We sacked the wrong people. That gardener was dodgy from day one." The staff turnover had been insane after the disappearance, nannies, housekeepers, security guards all quitting under the glare of public suspicion. The police investigation dragged on for years. Divers searched the harbour, sniffer dogs combed the Royal Botanic Garden next door, Interpol alerts went out worldwide. Every lead fizzled. The gardener Eliza mentioned, a quiet bloke named Trevor Hayes, had been grilled for weeks. He'd left for Queensland the day after Mia vanished, which looked sus as hell, but his alibi held. He'd been at a mate's bucks party in Brizzy, dozens of witnesses. Still, the family paid him off quietly to disappear, terrified the press would crucify them for employing him. The outrage never really died down. Every anniversary, some journalist would dredge it up again, and the comments sections would explode with fresh venom. By 2025, hope had pretty much flatlined. Richo had privately told his lawyer to wind down the reward fund. Victoria, though, couldn't let go. She tried everything, private investigators, hypnotherapy, even a trip to some Bali shaman that James mocked mercilessly. Then, late one night scrolling through obscure forums, she stumbled across mentions of a young woman from out past Dubbo Way. Katya Petrova, 26, no formal training, but a string of stories that were hard to dismiss. Finding a missing stockman in the floods, pinpointing where a stolen racehorse had been hidden, even helping New South Wales police locate a body in the Blue Mountains. Locals swore she was the real deal, not some TV psychic in glittery robes, just a quiet Sheila with pale eyes that seemed to see straight through you. Desperate, Victoria rang her the next morning. "I don't care what it costs," she said, voice trembling down the line. "If there's even a chance you can tell us what happened to our Mia, we'll fly you here first class, put you up as long as you need." Katya hesitated. She hated the city, hated rich people thinking they could buy the gift, but something in Victoria's broken tone tugged at her. "All right, love," she said finally, in that slow, dry drawl from the bush. "I'll come, but I can't promise anything. Sometimes the dead don't want to talk, and sometimes the living block. I'm out." 2 days later, Katya stepped off the plane at Mascot, boots dusty, wheeling a battered suitcase, looking utterly out of place among the designer luggage. A chauffeured Bentley collected her, whisking her over the harbor bridge to the mansion where the Harringtons waited, a family fractured by grief and guilt, clinging to the slimmest thread of hope that a stranger from the outback might finally give them answers. Katya's room was tucked away on the eastern wing, far enough from the main bedrooms that the family's late-night rows didn't carry too clearly, but close enough to feel the chill of the place seeping through the walls. It was a beautiful prison of a room, king bed with Egyptian cotton sheets, harbor views that had cost millions anywhere else, and a marble bathroom bigger than her entire flat back in Dubbo. But the air felt thick, like someone had left the grief switch permanently on. She unpacked her small suitcase, a few changes of clothes, a notebook, a bundle of sage she'd picked herself out near the Macquarie River, and a photo of her nan, the one who'd passed the sight down to her. First morning, the housekeeper, a nervous Filipina woman named Rosa who'd been with the family for 15 years, brought her a breakfast tray. "Mrs. Harrington says eat whatever you like, miss. Just ring if you need anything." Rosa's eyes darted to the nursery door down the hall, the one that hadn't been opened in years. Katya caught the flicker of fear. "You were here when it happened?" she asked softly. Rosa nodded, crossing herself. "I was in the kitchen. Heard nothing. One minute the nanny was screaming, next minute police everywhere. Poor little Mia," her voice cracked and she scurried off. Katya spent the days wandering. She walked the gardens at all hours, dawn when the rosellas were screeching, midday when the heat shimmered off the sandstone walls, dusk when the city lights started twinkling across the water. She sat on the exact spot where Mia's bubbles had floated that final afternoon, pressed her palms to the grass, closed her eyes. Nothing came, not even a whisper. The gift wasn't like the movies, it didn't turn on like a tap. Sometimes it flooded you, sometimes it left you bone dry. The family watched her every move. James made no secret of his contempt. He'd stride past in his designer activewear, AirPods in, smirking. "Still waiting for the spirits to WhatsApp you, are we?" He'd mutter just loud enough. One afternoon she found him in the home gym, smashing a punching bag like it owed him money. "You know this is all bullshit, right?" he said, not breaking rhythm. Mum's clutching at straws because she can't face the truth. They were too busy playing perfect family for the cameras to actually watch their kid. Katya didn't rise to it. "Maybe," she said quietly. "Or maybe the truth's buried deeper than you think." He laughed, bitter. "Spare me the cryptic outback wisdom." Eliza was colder, more surgical. She'd corner Katya in the library, glass of Sauv Blanc in hand even at lunchtime. "Let's cut the nonsense. How much are they paying you? Because whatever it is, I'll double it to make you leave. We don't need another circus." Her eyes were steel. Katya met him steadily. "I'm not here for your money, love. I'm here because your mum asked, and because something's tugging at me to stay." Eliza scoffed. "Something. Right. Probably the heated pool and the verve in the fridge." But Katya saw the flicker, the way Eliza's hand tightened on the stem of her glass. Fear, not just anger. Richard Harrington barely spoke to her at all. He'd nod curtly in passing, buried in phone calls about lithium prices or boardroom coups. But sometimes, late at night, Katya would spot him through the window of his study, staring at an old photo of Mia on his desk, a tumbler of scotch untouched beside it. Once, she caught him in the nursery, the door ajar, him standing in the middle of the frozen-in-time room, touching the mobile of stars that still hung above the cot. He didn't see her. He just whispered, "I'm sorry, princess," before closing the door again. Dinner was the worst. They insisted she join them, Victoria's attempt at keeping things normal. The long mahogany table could seat 20, but it was just the 5 of them rattling around like marbles in a tin. Conversation was a minefield. James would snipe at his father about some business decision. "You're selling off the Pilbara tenements. After everything Grandad built." Richo would snap back, "You'd know if you ever showed up to a meeting instead of snorting your way through Surrey Hills." Victoria would try to steer things neutral. "Katya, how are the gardens treating you?" Only for Eliza to cut in with, "Still no ghostly postcards from Mia, I take it." One night it all boiled over. They'd had too much red, a Penfolds Grange that cost more than Katya's annual rent. James slammed his glass down. "You know what shits me most? Everyone out there still thinks we did it. That we're covering something up. And you two just let it happen, too proud to fight the narrative." Victoria's face crumpled. "We did fight. We sued 3 papers, spent millions on PR, Richo roared, "Enough. We lost our daughter, and you lot want to keep picking at the scab." Eliza stood up, chair scraping. "Maybe if you hadn't sacked every staff member who looked sideways, we'd have kept someone who actually gave a damn." James laughed coldly. Like Trevor the gardener, the one you were so sure was a perv. Funny how he vanished right after. The name hung in the air like smoke. Trevor Hayes. Katya felt something then, a prickle at the base of her skull. She looked up. All four Harringtons were frozen, staring at each other. Victoria whispered, "We paid him to go. His alibi was solid." James snarled, "Alibis can be bought." Richo smashed his fist on the table. "Enough. We're not doing this again." Katya excused herself early, heart thumping. Up in her room, she lit the sage, let the smoke curl around her. The prickle wouldn't leave. Trevor, the garden, something there, but still no clear picture. Weeks dragged on. Christmas came and went, a grim affair with a towering tree no one bothered decorating properly and presents no one wanted. Katya was knackered, the constant tension draining her. She'd started getting migraines, the kind that came when the gift was trying to push through blockage. That night, after another silent dinner, she skipped the usual meditation. She just fell into bed, fully clothed, boots still on. Sleep hit her like a freight train. Katya's dream hit her like a riptide, no gentle drift into sleep, just yanked straight under. 1 second she was in her bed, boots still on, the harbor lights flickering through the blinds, the next she was standing barefoot in the garden on that Saturday afternoon 5 years ago. The sun was high and brutal, cicadas screaming in the figs, the air thick with frangipani and salt. Everything was razor sharp, the exact pink of Mia's sundress, the rainbow glint of bubbles still hanging in the air, the nanny half hidden behind the hedge, face buried in her phone. Little Mia was laughing, chasing a monarch butterfly toward the back fence, the part screened by a thick bank of lily-pillies no one ever trimmed proper. Katya tried to call out, but dreams don't work like that, she was just a passenger. She watched Mia toddle closer, chubby legs pumping, curls bouncing. Then a shadow moved behind the greenery. A man stepped out, mid-40s, weathered face, faded navy work shirt with the Harrington crest embroidered on the pocket. Trevor Hayes, the gardener. In the dream, time slowed sickeningly. Trevor crouched down, voice low and coaxing. "Hey there, Darl, look what I've got." He held out a tiny fluffy duckling, yellow as butter, cheeping softly. Mia's eyes went wide, pure delight. She didn't hesitate, just waddled straight to him, trusting as only a 4-year-old can. Trevor glanced once toward the house, no one looking, then scooped her up with one arm, duckling in the other hand to keep her quiet. Mia giggled, thinking it a game. He slipped through a side gate Katya had never noticed before, one half hidden by vines, leading to the narrow lane that ran behind the mansions. Katya's stomach lurched as she followed, weightless, through the gate. A battered white ute was parked there, no plates on the front. Trevor bundled Mia into the passenger seat, tossed a blanket over her like she was a parcel. The little girl was still smiling, clutching the duckling. He climbed in, started the engine quiet as he could, and eased away down the lane toward Wolseley Road. Katya screamed inside the dream, soundless, useless, as the ute turned left and vanished into traffic. The scene shifted hard, like someone changing channels. Now she was in a dim fibro house out Whoop Whoop, somewhere west of the Blue Mountains maybe, tin roof, dusty yard, chooks scratching under a hill's hoist. Mia, older now, 9 maybe, sat at a laminate table doing coloring in, hair longer but still those blonde curls. She looked healthy, cared for even, but her eyes were blank, like something bright had been switched off years ago. A woman in her 50s, thin, hard-faced, bottle blonde, was cooking snacks on a barbie out the back, calling her Emily, love, dinner's nearly ready. Mia answered to the name without flinching. Trevor was there too, older now, grayer, sitting on the veranda nursing a stubby, watching the girl like a hawk. Katya felt the truth slam into her. He hadn't sold her, hadn't hurt her in that way. Worse, almost. He and the woman, his sister, the dream whispered, couldn't have kids. They'd convinced themselves Mia was better off with them, away from the cold rich family who'd neglected her. They'd changed her name, homeschooled her, kept her hidden. Told her real parents had died in a car crash. Every time she asked questions when she was little, they'd cried and hugged her until she stopped. Katya saw flashes then, rapid fire, Trevor burning Mia's pink dress in a 44-gallon drum that first night. The sister cutting the child's hair short, dyeing it mousy brown for the first couple of years just in case. Fake birth certificates bought off some dodgy contact in Penrith. Moving house twice when neighbors got too nosy. Mia, Emily, growing up believing this was her life, the only one she had. But deep down, buried under years of lies, a flicker of memory remained. bubbles in a beautiful garden, a mummy who smelled like expensive perfume, a daddy who threw her high in the air by the pool. The final image seared itself into Katya's mind. Present day, Mia, 9 years old, sitting on her bed in that fibro house, staring at a small silver bracelet she'd found in a drawer. A charm bracelet with a single koala pendant. The one Victoria had clasped on her wrist the morning she vanished. Mia turned it over in her hands, frowning, a ghost of confusion crossing her face. Like something was trying to surface. Katya jolted awake, gasping, sheets soaked with sweat. Dawn was creeping over the harbor, turning the water blood orange. Her heart hammered so hard she thought she'd be sick. She fumbled for her notebook, hands shaking, scribbling everything before it faded. The hidden gate, the white ute, the duckling, the house with the hills hoist, the name Emily, the bracelet. Most of all, Trevor Hayes's face, guilty, but not monstrous. Deluded, convinced he'd saved her, she sat there till the sun was fully up, staring at the page. The gift had finally spoken, clear as a bell. Mia was alive, kidnapped by the gardener who'd loved her in his twisted way, raised by him and his sister as their own. Hidden in plain sight, probably no more than a few hours' drive away. But telling the Harringtons, that would rip the family apart all over again. And if the cops bungled it, Mia could disappear for good this time. Katya closed the notebook, took a steadying breath. Today was December 26th, Boxing Day. The house was quiet, the family sleeping off yesterday's grim Christmas. She had to decide, say nothing and walk away, or blow the whole thing wide open. Katya didn't sleep again after the dream. She sat on the edge of the bed until the house stirred, the distant clatter of Rosa starting breakfast, the low rumble of the garage door as Richo's driver warmed the Bentley. Boxing Day, 2025. The city would be hungover from Christmas Barbies and backyard cricket, but in this mansion the calendar meant nothing. Every day was the anniversary of something lost. She showered quick, pulled on jeans and a clean shirt, then headed downstairs with her notebook clutched tight. Victoria was already in the sunroom, wrapped in a silk robe, staring at the harbor like it might give Mia back if she looked hard enough. Katya hesitated in the doorway. Mrs. Harrington, Vic, we need to talk. All of you. Victoria's head snapped around, hope and dread fighting on her face. You saw something. Katya nodded. Yeah, I saw everything. It took an hour to round up the others. James rolled in late, sunglasses on, reeking of last night's bourbon. Eliza appeared in gym gear, earbuds dangling, expression guarded. Richo came last, tie already knotted even though it was a public holiday, barking into his phone until Victoria snatched it away. They gathered in the formal lounge, the one no one ever used, and Katya stood while they sat, 4 pairs of eyes fixed on her like she was judge and jury. She didn't sugarcoat it. Started with the garden, the butterfly, the duckling. Told them how Trevor had watched Mia for months, convinced himself the Harringtons were too busy, too cold, to love her proper. How he and his sister Marlene, childless after 3 miscarriages, had planned it for weeks. The hidden gate, the white ute, the blanket. The new name, Emily Hayes. The fibro house out near Lithgow, the fake papers, the lies fed to a little girl until she believed them. Silence thick as Sydney smog filled the room when she finished. Victoria was crying without sound, tears sliding down her perfect cheekbones. Richo's face had gone grey, hands trembling on the arms of his chair. James swore under his breath, over and over. Eliza just stared at Katya, lips thin. You're saying she's alive? Richo finally croaked. Our Mia's alive. Katya nodded. 9 years old now. Healthy. Goes to the local primary sometimes, but mostly homeschooled. Calls Trevor, Dad, and Marlene, Mum. Still has the koala bracelet, hidden in a drawer. Doesn't know why it feels important, but she keeps it. Victoria let out a sound, half sob, half scream, and doubled over. James jumped up, pacing like a caged animal. That sick bastard. I knew it. I bloody knew Trevor was off. Eliza's voice cut through, sharp as glass. We paid him to disappear. We gave him the money to start this life with our sister. Richo stood, swaying a bit. We ring the police. Right now. He reached for his phone, but Katya held up a hand. Hang on. We do this wrong, they'll bolt. Trevor's paranoid, moves house whenever anyone asks too many questions. One wrong step and Mia vanishes again, maybe interstate this time. The argument erupted then, proper family outrage Australian style. James wanted to drive out there mob-handed, drag Mia home himself. I'll kill the prick with my bare hands. Eliza snapped at him to think for once, a media circus would terrify the girl, maybe scar her for life. Victoria just kept whispering, she's alive, like a prayer. Richo barked orders, private security, lawyers, the ex-cop pie they'd used before. Katya waited till they ran out of steam. There's a better way, she said quietly. I saw the house clear as day, red tin roof, blue hills hoist with a faded Saints flag, chooks in the yard, a gum tree out front with a tire swing. Street number 47, dirt road off the Bells line. I can draw it, describe it down to the cracked concrete path. You get the cops to do a welfare check, quiet like. Say an anonymous call about a kid not in school proper. They go in soft, confirm it's her, then move. Richo stared at her. You'd come with them, pointed out. Yeah, but only if you lot stay away till she's safe. No helicopters, no news crews. She's been brainwashed 5 years, sees you as strangers who died. You storm in, she'll scream for Trevor to save her. Victoria reached out, grabbed Katya's hand. Whatever you need, anything. By midday the plan was set. Richo called his mate the police commissioner, discreet, off record. Katya sat with a detective sergeant in the study, sketching the house, the ute still white, now rusting, even the duckling pen out back that had become a full chook run. The sergeant's eyes widened as details matched old files. Trevor's sister Marlene, registered at an address that had gone cold years ago. They moved fast but careful. Katya rode in an unmarked car with 2 plainclothes cops and a child welfare officer, west along the M4 then up through the mountains. Her stomach was in knots the whole way. What if the dream was wrong? What if Mia looked at her and saw nothing? They found the house easy, exactly as she'd seen it, right down to the Saints flag flapping in the hot northerly. Cops knocked polite, asked about Emily's schooling. Trevor opened the door, face draining of color when he saw the badges. Marlene appeared behind him, clutching a tea towel. And then Mia, taller, freckled from country sun, hair in a ponytail, peered out from the hallway. Katya's heart near stopped. It was her. Older, but those eyes, Victoria's eyes. The girl looked straight at Katya, frowning like she knew her from somewhere. Katya smiled soft. G'day, love. You alright? Mia nodded, confused. Trevor started blubbering excuses, Marlene wailing. The welfare officer knelt down, gentle as anything. Sweetheart, we're here to take you to your real mum. She's missed you something fierce. It wasn't dramatic, no screaming, no chase. Just a scared little girl in a frozen t-shirt clutching her koala bracelet as they buckled her into the car. Trevor and Marlene cuffed in the back of a divvy van, faces crumpled. Back in Point Piper that night, the mansion lights blazed. Victoria waited on the front steps, shaking. When Mia stepped out of the car, hesitant, Victoria didn't rush her. Just opened her arms and whispered, "Hello, my darling girl." Mia stared a long moment, then ran to her. The hug lasted forever, both of them sobbing into each other's necks while Richo, James and Eliza watched from the doorway, tears streaming down faces that hadn't cried in years. Katya stood back, job done. She'd refused the reward, already decided. As the family disappeared inside, arms wrapped around their miracle, she slipped away to the garden. Sat on the grass where it all began, looked up at the stars coming out over the harbor. For the first time in 5 years, the mansion didn't feel like a tomb. It felt like a home again.